Are you sure? I can lean this way too.
Yeah, I have it to where it's like wherever you lean is still good.
I can do this. I can do this.
Probably you know you're on live, right?
Oh, Bree.
It's live.
Yeah.
That fast?
My bad.
They ain't give us no countdown. We'll do sound check.
How's it sound?
We good. All right.
Good.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Now listen, we're gonna get right into it. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell so y'all know we going live almost every Sunday. We back. It's another episode of Knicks Morning Coffee. I'm Joe Cool with my partner, Mr. King, and the
Yep,
camera
yep.
girl, Breezy B. What's up? What's up?
All right, right.
How y'all feeling today?
Phew. I was doing good for a minute there. I thought the Jets
I don't
pulled off
even.
the okey doke.
I should have stopped watching. I think I jinxed it. You told me, and I started watching again,
Mm,
and then boom, just like that.
yeah, that was a wild one.
Well,
I didn't even see the last minute because they turned away, so I said I wasn't gonna check.
now I can't wait for basketball season.
Well, we got a
Next
week
season
and we
can't
got
come
a week
fast
and a
enough.
half.
Week and a half.
We can maybe less for training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shoot, let's get right into it. What's new for today?
All right. So I thought today we talk about spend a little bit of time on the starting lineups, the potential starting lineups, and then try to make a case for there's actually more people who could possibly start than advertised.
Mm,
So we know the four, right?
mm,
Brunson, Cat, OG, and Mikal Bridges.
mm,
And then the two obvious choices, one being Mitch, who
mm,
they had last year at the end of the season, and then also Josh Hart, who
mm,
was the starter for most of the season.
mm,
And you could make a case for either one
mm,
that you can't go wrong whichever one you plug in there.
mm,
You just looking at how you round out your bench,
mm,
assuming you keep everybody that you brought in, right? So if we just skip Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson, because we already know what that looked like,
mm,
right? And then I started thinking about, um, and well, I wasn't actually thinking about it. I saw it uh, watching one of the news shows where they said the possibility of a Deuce McBride,
mm,
who in the past few years played very well, but per minute with Jalen Brunson,
mm,
and what your defense could look like, being that he has now become a knockdown shooter.
mm,
And I said, okay, you could make a case for that,
mm.
and that adding him there only even makes your bench even stronger.
Right.
And because now you're gonna run at least a 3 guard um, offense off the bench, either
Mm,
way, whichever way you go, right? So, well, not necessarily that way because what Deuce gives you is full court pressure. He gives you knockdown shooter, but not your typical, 3 and D type of knockdown shooter. He don't
mm,
really give you that, but he has proven the past year he can hit an open shot.
mm,
All right, so then that leaves an odd man out on the bench in one of the guards. Then you could say, okay, what if they decide they want to go for a bigger and they want to start Yabusele?
mm,
That that would not make anybody upset. That would just pull Mitch to the bench again,
mm,
but it still gives you a well balanced starting lineup and it
mm,
gives you a well balanced bench, having a 7-footer now coming off the bench,
mm,
as opposed to starting when you start Mitch and Cat. Yabusele, he proved he can play center at 6'8", a rugged 6'8".
mm.
But that makes you a little bit shorter when you're already going with smaller guards, right? If you go with a 3 guard lineup off the bench. So nobody would argue with Yabusele starting. I necessarily don't want to see him starting yet. I want to see we get more versatility out of him coming off the bench. So we see what that could look like with Yabusele. Now, what about if they decide they want to go with a Jordan Clarkson
Mm,
starting alongside Brunson? That would not make anybody upset either,
mm,
because Jordan Clarkson, even though he's been a lifelong, mostly sub off the bench, former 6 man,
mm,
he also showed that he won't hurt you in the starting lineup.
mm,
And that's still, again, it he's still an outside shooter who can create his own shot, but that also still keeps your bench fresh and strengthened, even though I more prefer him off the bench just because of his real punch to score. that we're still going to need. Now, the fifth person off the bench, who I was thinking about, and that's not really a long shot either, but Shamet. Now, Shamet gives you the traditional two guard who can shoot the basketball. He will be the only one on our roster who actually gives you that. If you decide to put Shamet at the two, and then you turn Mikal into his traditional three spot. If you want to turn Mikal into a real scorer, that would be at the three spot position, his triple threat position. So I was just thinking, like, which way would you think might be better, or no way at all out of those? Like, who would you pull out of that equation to say they definitely can't start? Because they all have capabilities, which they will all be plugged in, mind you, at the two guard if they started. It doesn't really change our lineup too much from what it was last year when you started Josh Hart. But that means that gives the coach going into the season 5 actual options for somebody to win out, because you want to have a balanced attack, offense and defense. We already know where the points are coming from in the starting lineup with Brunson and Cat, the majority of the points. So that just gives us something to really think about, and Mike Brown's way of how he see things, who could fit into that role.
I mean, my goal always when I'm looking at a team is can we get 2 starting lineups, like, period. You know what I mean? Like, when you pull one, so say you just cause you just pulled 4 out of the 5 players out, and you put 4 more players in, it look like a whole nother starting lineup. You know what I mean? I think that's where we headed. I don't know if you put Shamet in that spot because you forgot about Brogdon.
Yeah, but Brogdon's the point guard. He definitely penciled in as the point guard. That's why I didn't put him in that starting lineup. He automatically going to come off the bench.
He'll come off the bench?
Yeah.
It'll be like Brogdon, Clarkston, let's just say Yabusele, Mitch. Missing one more.
Yeah, and that could either be Deuce. As it stands right now, it probably would be Deuce. That would make Shamet the odd man out.
Yeah, so either way, it looked like we have 2 starting lineups because everybody pretty much started on the team before.
Yeah. Oh no, we definitely. Yeah, you're right. No, we definitely got 2 starting.
I think they're probably just gonna go with the obvious, unless they.
Well, then who's the obvious
take
then?
Josh Hart out, I guess. Right? What we said, Brunson.
Well, Brunson, OG,
Mikal,
and Cat. So that fifth one.
That fifth one is either Mitch. I think that's what I think they're gonna do. I think they're gonna go Mitch.
Yeah, because if you go Mitch,
because I think everybody's saying that. I think the other center gonna play. He didn't show. Yeah, he's gonna play, unless they go get another center.
Which is a possibility. Yeah, so here's why I didn't throw Huck Porty in that scenario, because with the moves they made, bringing in those guards, and those guards could have went elsewhere. So these are high performance guards that they're gonna have to play. And even though they came in on non-guarantees, you could bet your bottom dollar they didn't accept a non-guarantee to the Knicks unless they really had some type of insurance that they're gonna stay on this roster. And if they're gonna stay on this roster, that means they're gonna be used on this roster, which would take us into our second subject, which is all gonna tie around the first one, is who's really the odd man out. Because if you want to keep, and from what I'm listening to on ESPN, the Knicks want to keep both Brogdon and Shamet, right? So that means the only way to keep them is not enough just to get rid of the young guys, because their money won't add up. You know, totally, it won't add up. So if you just got rid of, let's say they talked about, if you just got rid of Dadier, then then that would free you up to keep one of them. But then that would only leave you $40,000 under the second apron. So that's definitely not enough to keep another one.
Well, it's looking like it's McBride being shopped, Dadier, Kolick, all of them being shopped and packaged off.
Yeah, and there's been some interest in McBride, which was what I was leading to. They talked about, and you said it was old, but it was a new one. Talked about the Knicks still high on revisiting the Walter Kessler trade with Utah. And the only thing is that now that don't look the same anymore. It don't look like just McBride and a young player for Kessler. It looks like Mitch and McBride for Kessler and somebody else that they would have to send over that the Knicks could waive.
Yeah.
And they talked about how having Kessler, a 25-year-old who's still young, who's younger than Mitch. Mitch is still young. I always wanted Kessler, but not at this expense. Not at the expense of Mitch, because you still have to re-sign Mitch next year, which I think they can do. I think they could be committed to re-signing him. But I don't think you want to tamper with the team too much, because the article also talked about by trying to keep Shamet and Brogdon, that the Knicks are going to look way different off their bench than last year. We already look different because if we're talking about, we all probably know Deuce might be the odd man out. And the only weird thing about Deuce maybe being the odd man out is the talk that once Brown came in, Deuce was one of the people that he reached out to and worked with because he's high on Deuce. Now, this is before the Brogdon trade. So if Brown is high on Deuce and management kind of sees Deuce as the salary that could make everything work, where does that leave that? I think Brogdon changes the whole dynamic for Deuce the minute we got him. I think the minute we got Clarkson, I think that really kind of sealed it for Deuce. And then you bringing in Brogdon, I think that automatically, all that talking to them fighting for a third spot between Shamet, Brogdon, no, that ain't gonna happen. They brought them guys here to be here. So I think we look more like, unless a major trade is made, that Walter Kessler one, it don't hurt the Knicks, but to me it don't help because you losing a dynamic player in Mitch and what he means to us on this team.
Yeah, I don't think they revisiting that Walker Kessler. I think it probably was just a look back into what was going on, but I don't think they going back that far for that.
Well, I mean, yes, most of the time these riders, they put it out there, but the one scenario where it kind of makes sense, which I'm not really worried about, that is it leaves them open to make a trade like they did last year at the end of the season to still try to bring in another player if needed. So, yeah, we don't really need Walter Kessler, but we know that something's going to give, hopefully nothing too crazy for the Knicks, because what you have right now, you can rock and roll with and get some serious shit done. So that was just something that I still thought it was interesting, because that means it's on somebody's brain and in their wavelength. And once it's in their wavelength, anything could be dangled in front of you. And then there was another, and this is really not going to be a long show today. And then there was another mock trade that Sports Illustrated, they keep pumping the trade for Milwaukee for Greek Freak and Cat. And I definitely think the Knicks need to leave that one alone.
Yeah, as much as I like Giannis, but I don't think. I think when they saying it, I honestly think the Knicks would probably rather have Giannis and Cat and Brunson, like that big three kind of dynamic. I don't think they wanted to stray away from having Giannis, maybe take Cat's spot and then maybe have Mitch. I don't think that's what they was looking to.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
then it wouldn't even make sense no more. But then you would need a Kessler kind of player to maybe stretch the floor. Even though Giannis will shoot, but nah.
He ain't that kind of shooter. And you can always pop Cat out to be the shooter. But yeah, I don't like that whole dynamic. To me, yeah, Giannis is still one of the top 5 players in the league, but I don't think he's the answer for us right now. We built something that can sustain us for years to come. And the players are still around there 28, 29, 30 years old who still can grow. So I didn't really like that too much. I think that fool's gold right now would be to gut your team out for Giannis. Because what is he really going to bring you if you got Brunson? I personally don't. Now everybody can play together, but I don't think Brunson's skill set matches with Giannis's. Being that Giannis takes the ball and bring it up himself. Yeah, so I really necessarily like that. But I'm very interested though to see going into training camp who gets that 5th spot. And not just who get it, who's also the odd man out. In terms of our, even though McBride and them are not veterans, but it's going to have to be one of them type of players.
Well, if Mitch is starting, I'm still rolling with Josh Hart is coming out first. I'm still
Yeah,
rolling.
yeah. Well, yeah.
And it depends on who. I think it just depends.
Well, if
But
Josh,
I'm still rolling that Josh Hart probably coming out first.
yeah, if Mitch starts, Josh will necessarily now become our sixth man anymore. If he goes back to the bench,
Are you saying
But
who's the fifth spot? As in who?
who's going to start in that fifth spot? So if Mitch starts, that brings Josh back off the bench.
Oh yeah,
Which is he
I think
accustomed?
it's our regular starting five that we had last year.
Which one, with Josh or with Mitch?
Oh, well with
Because
Mitch without Josh.
okay, without Josh. No, yeah, right. So what I was saying is that doesn't automatically now make Josh our sixth man coming off the bench anymore, because we have so much more depending on what we need, especially when you're talking about a Jordan Clarkson.
I mean, and then and again, a lot of these teams don't got two centers, so maybe they don't start Josh. Cause I think Cleveland, do they start both of them?
Yeah, they start both theirs. I mean,
They start
the
both of
teams
them.
that gave us the most trouble have two centers, or
Yeah.
the teams that we have to really compete with
I mean,
have
if
two
every
bigs.
team is starting both day bigs, then we gotta start. We gotta start both our bigs. If they not, maybe not.
Yeah, because
Maybe
you
it's
can
a game
always
to game
because
basis.
you can see how it goes, and if Mike Brown really gonna unleash Mikal Bridges, that would take away from having
I say
the two
start.
centers.
I say start Mitch. Let him be aggressive. He get two quick ones, take him out, put Yabusele in, or vice versa.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Put
I would like to
Yabusele
see Mitch
in.
start.
If Mitch got the two quick ones, let's just say Towns liable to get one, but let's just say he don't. Yabusele probably goes down. Towns come out. Then you put the other center in as a big, like the bigs,
Yeah, because I like
and then you get the by halftime or whenever you're making it back, you put it right back to normal.
yeah, because I like OG at the three, even though the way the game is going, he
Mm,
handled the four very well. But I think he played his best for us
mm.
when he's at the three, because he's more flexible in the things that he can do for us in terms of having the space. Because when you put him at the four, you always look for somebody to be in that dunker spot unless Josh Hart comes in.
Yeah, what I really want them to do is I want them to run that pick and roll with Mitch. You know, Mitch get to the basket, you throw it to him. If he don't got it, he got a choice of Towns or OG to
Yeah,
kick it back out.
yeah,
And
pick it. Yeah,
then you run plays for well, Mikel gonna get his anyway for defense. And Brunson gonna get his anyway. So I feel like they need to run plays and run it through all three of those guys. And then like, just to get it going and then call people's number
yeah,
as they
in
come out
situations.
in
Yeah,
situations.
yeah, but that's one thing I think Brunson did a little bit better towards the end of the season.
Mm,
Is even after the plays broke down, when he started seeing the mismatches, I think he was able to recognize that in times,
mm,
because that's when you seen people like OG, because you can tell when they when the play breaks down,
mm,
and you can tell how the spacing, say in OG's case or Mikal Bridges' case, you can tell when that was kind of like a play ran for them,
mm,
after the first 10, 15 seconds on the shot clock,
mm.
because you can tell by the movement of the other players.
Right.
They're not coming to the ball. They're still moving around the court trying to find open lanes to be passed to. So
Mm,
I like that, with the Knicks. And I also think that I think Brown gonna do a good job of mix and matching through the course of the game.
mm.
And that's another thing I'm excited about seeing. That it's not just gonna be the starters versus the bench players. It's gonna be way more interaction,
Mm.
of lineups that we're just not thinking of. Because you got so many guys that can do so many
Because we're
things with
not
the
even
ball.
tapping into what I'm only tapping into what we actually seen them do. We ain't even see what Clarkson and Brogdon could potentially do. And with Shamit, we ain't even really see when you call his number and he gets off these screens and he can actually shoot
Yeah, well,
the way we think he should be. It's like,
we had that playoff game where he looked like if that was his regular job, it would
mm,
be no problem.
right.
I think it was one where he had like 16 points or something like that.
Mm,
But he hit like four threes, 4 out of 6 from three, but
mm,
they were looking for him.
mm,
That makes a major difference for a shooter. So that's why I said that it wouldn't. I mean, you're not gonna go that route, but
mm,
if you threw him in there,
mm.
if Deuce was gone, and then you shook up your starting lineup with a real 3-point threat just to
Mm.
keep the defense honest.
Right.
Mikel can shoot it, but he's not gonna keep you honest. Like they'll
Mm.
play off of him. He just have to knock it down if he can. So yeah, it just makes a whole lot of sense that Mike Brown is going to mix and match through the course of the game, because once you got a point guard and Brunson and Brogdon, and then you got a center and Cat, Mitch, or Yabusele, with the three things you have in between is not going to matter that much more, because they all can score the basketball. Everybody except Josh Hart can still get you 16 points in a lot of games. So there's a threat all around the court for us to score. And the beauty that Josh loves to pass the ball helps. It helps no matter what part you put him in, And it's definitely going to help off the bench, because he knows, and he said that on the Roommates podcast, he's going to be looking for Clarkson. He's going to look for people anyway. So it just makes us a way more dangerous team.
And I don't know how aggressive Clarkson is allowed to be on the other teams, but he's definitely going to be allowed to coming off the bench.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, no, that's
super aggressive on the Knicks.
He's a 16-point off the bench average for his career. That means if you average in 16, look what you're getting. And our only problem is under Tibbs, would he have gotten the minutes to be the type of player that he always was? Everybody's getting older, but that boy still can put the ball in the basket for what you need. We're not asking nobody to come in and be the savior. But what we asking Brogdon, you have to let Brogdon be himself. Because the stuff that he's going to bring to the table is something that we ain't never had. So, you all right, Bree? All right, you be all right.
So we out here in the elements.
All right, what question you got for us today?
All right. The first question is, should the Knicks make Karl Anthony Towns the main focus to advance to the next level?
Well, of course, everybody in America going to say no, right?
I was going to say yeah.
I was going to say yeah, too, because what Brunson gives you, he doesn't give you Kobe-like, for a guard. Like, he's not giving you that. So I think, and I thought last year, it don't have to say my team, your team, but the way the NBA is set up, there's always one person that they try to give a team to. And it can still be Brunson's team. And by Cat coming in and acknowledging this is, meaning preferring Brunson to Cap. I think Karl, in his heart of heart, knows we go as he go.
Yeah. I was going to say, it can definitely be Brunson's team, but
the
focus definitely should be Towns and making sure he get what he's supposed to get.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna get the Brunson burner, and when we need it, we definitely do need it. But seeing what Towns did at the end of the playoffs, he broke that curse of like he go missing. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely could do it. Now he should be working on that all year long, so it's more in the game. Everybody else would know what to do. But with Mitch out there, it definitely makes it way easier.
Yeah, and it makes it for Towns too. And he had those games too down the stretch sometimes where if they not going to him, he kind of like fades away out there. But we have the type of team that they know, and Brunson admitted himself at times that I have to get that ball to Cat. Because when Cat is getting the ball down low, popping out for the three, or even just moving around the interior, just to be looked at, rather he get it or not, just to know that everybody's still looking for me as the big man. And plus, when you do make a guy like Towns the focal point, that makes the offense, that makes everybody else's job way more easier when the focus is on the paint and not out on the perimeter. When teams scout for Brunson, that's out on the perimeter, even though, he gets into that mid-range. But it makes everybody else eat more if you just focus it mostly on the big guard, the big man. So yeah, that makes things better. Okay, nice.
What else we got?
But not even to be controversial on should it be Cat's team or Brunson's team. I just think it makes the Knicks better if the other teams focus on the big man.
All right. Next question is, how important is it that Coach Brown invent the team in his image?
You want to take that one first?
Yeah, I think it's super important. I think Tibbs did what he can do, but he got to now work with this team on what we got. You know what I mean? What we got him for. So it definitely should be, I think the better teams that get to a ship is the teams that invent the team in their image of what, what they supposed to have. I don't know if that's the same, but he definitely should do what he think he should be doing.
See, that's what, that's right. But what my feeling is this, and it's really, I have two feelings on that, but it's almost like if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, right?
Mm.
And as long as we have the core players back,
Mm.
it's because we knew our bench had to get better, right? As far as the confidence in the coach for this year. So we went out and we did that. And so you don't want to stray too far because when the Knicks played well, they played very well even against the good teams in the league last year.
Mm.
So you don't kind of want to stray too far from that formula of Cat and the Nova, or say Cat and the Nova, the Nova guy, the Nova boys, and then you got to throw an OG because that works. What the bench will be allowed to come in and do, should they be allowed to come in and do that, that's where his imprint to me would make most sense. So I don't necessarily want to see a whole gutting of what the Knicks did last year. The other part is the credit that will go to Brown at the end of the season should they win. I was thinking about, as soon as you said it, it popped in my mind about when Detroit won with Ben Wallace and all of them, right? I forgot who's the coach. He had them ready to go, right, to win the championship. Then you bring in Larry Brown, and Larry Brown, did he really take them over the hump, or was he going to win anyway? When Mark Jackson had Golden State, did what's the name take them over the hump, or was Golden State primed to win anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you need that.
I still don't think we don't win with Tibbs' scheme from last year. You know what I mean? Everybody can score on their own, but that was the problem. They scoring on their own.
Yeah.
It's not like when you watch ESPN or TNT and Kenny run to the board and he's showing a player run to the foul line, get the ball, and then another player is automatically cutting every play. And they said they got to find a way to stop that. And if they don't cut, there's another option. We don't got that. It was basically, this is what's going to happen. OG get a shot in the corner. This is what Cat gives you on a one-on-one situation. This is what Brunson gives you on a one-on-one situation. If they so happen to run a pick and roll, you know what I mean? They said pick and roll dynamic duo, then where was it at the end of the playoffs?
Yeah, that was them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Towns just went for one-on-one from the three-point line instead of going one-on-one in the post. And it looked unconventional because he didn't do it all year long. So now if you got a coach that may put plays in place that is not saying it's always going to work, but at least you know what your job and your role going to be while you playing, even though it's a scoring role. But Mitch shouldn't be out there missing for 2 quarters and all he playing is defense.
Yeah, and that
His big moments was defensive moments. He didn't get an alley-oop like he used to get.
Yeah, he didn't get none of that.
You know what I mean? He didn't get a regular layup. He didn't take the ball to the basket, even though he probably wasn't ready for that. That shouldn't be. OG at some points, remember I said his feet were looked off to me because he jumping off the wrong foot. He just trying to get a bucket. Josh Hart, wide open for a 3, don't take the shot. Nobody just screaming at him talking about just shoot it or take a step in and shoot a midi. Like those changes should have been put in place. I don't think it happens in the Tibbs.
Yeah, and a lot of that too also is the capability also of the players, which is why I go back to what I said last week about Malcolm Brogdon. He has the ability to run a play and see it through, whereas Brunson just might break the play, and a point guard they have that option. They're supposed to be able to see things that somebody else don't see. But I think Brunson will break a play faster than Brogdon will, and because Brogdon's not a go-to guy, he'll run that play, through its fruition, and then the end result, and you live with the end result if that's what's required at the time. So I think a lot of that too. Yeah, Tibbs didn't trust I don't think he trusts his players and his own. He was not an offensive coach, and he didn't trust his coaches to put those type of things in place. Because we have enough scores now that you could run a play with 8-9 seconds on the clock and get the shot you want,
and we
opposed to ISO.
And we running into the ground. Like I said, there's times where you could probably have Mitch come set the pick and roll for Towns. You know what I mean? It's unorthodox, but you got to try it.
They've done that last year a couple times.
Yeah, but now they got to actually do it, not them just, you know what, let me just come set the screen real quick. And it's in the motion of the game because you're a great basketball player. And you just know in this situation, let me come free him up real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's almost like read and react kind of basketball which probably most of the NBA play, but some of them do have their thing. Some of these teams do have their things that they do. Like they're giving it to Jokic at the foul line extended or the 3-point line, and he's looking for the cutter.
Yeah.
He's looking for the play off the ball. And when he said, "All right, it's my turn," he just does what he does.
Yeah, and that's a play too. That's not
You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's not
but you can
somebody that
see
just
it.
got open. That was a play. That little rub that Jokic did was to get somebody open.
Mm.
Yeah, I would love to see the Knicks be able to get those type of cherry picking plays in the half court scheme. Now that would definitely make us a
OKC,
different type of a team.
Isaiah Hartenstein did the same thing for the
Yeah.
Knicks. He come foul line extended, he get the ball. If he got it, he go take it. If not, you got options on the perimeter that you can dish the ball off to.
Mhm.
We have those players in place, and we got more than enough. The front office did their job. Now it's our time for the coaching staff to do their job.
Well, it's
You know
up to
what I
the
mean?
coaching staff and it's up to players' recognition also. You know, when you see a broken play don't always mean take it one-on-one.
Mm.
It means pick the best option that's out there. And that's what the real good teams do. Even as good as OKC was, they attacked the best option. You know, and that's why their small forward, what's that kid name again? Williams, whatever his name is. That's why he was so valuable for them. Because they had their two guys, and then I forgot that guy's name. He got that big contract. But it's the unsung guys, even though
You're
you
talking
need them
about
in your
SGA,
starting lineup. No, not SGA. I'm talking about the small forward. You know.
Yeah, I forgot his
Yeah,
name.
but the reason why he was able to
Dort?
do that, huh?
Is it Dort?
No, not him. Not him. He played power forward when he got in. You'll know the guy with the braids. But he's gonna be like the next Kawhi Leonard, like when Kawhi was in San Antonio, because they recognize what he has and what he do for them out there on the court. And if we start doing those type of things too, and if that's what Brown is bringing us, remember Brown was always known as a defensive player until he started with Sacramento. He took advantage of the offensive guys that he had. And if we're gonna be able to cherry pick in the half court and make plays, design plays work, wow. Whew. Forget about it. Anything else?
All right, last question is, can the Knicks realistically live up to the expectations of a successful season and make it happen?
You know what? Let me take this one first, because that question right there goes with Brunson is saying on their show, the roommate show, that just because other teams are hurting and they picking us to be one of those teams in the end, we can't live and die with that. We got to come out here every day and prove that we're not worrying about if they're picking us first or last. We got to come out every single day and practice in games and prove that we belong. So I think they live up to the expectations. And I thought last year they lived up to the expectations and even exceeded, even though we didn't get to the championship game. Because of the way we played. Teams knew that from the first game of the season to the last, that the Knicks was a problem. And when other teams think you're a problem and you can come out and win those games, it's hard because they're scouting everything you do. So yeah, I think they live up to I don't think they fall short of that.
Yeah, I think
with or without a championship.
Yeah, I think our days of being that old Knicks team is over. We haven't been that old Knicks team for about 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, no, really about almost 4 or 5 years since Randall.
And every year we improved, even if we fell short in the playoffs. But that's gonna come to coaching at the end to make sure we utilizing these players the way we're supposed to. You know what I mean? Because now that we know we got smart players, we got players that gonna run the play all the way through. You can't just leave them out there with no direction. Nah. I don't want to say that to be a diss or a slight to them, but it feels like they need some sort of direction.
Well, every team
when they go out. I mean, every team does, but every team don't got a LeBron on there. Every team don't got Luka. Every team don't got some of these Jokic. Every team don't got players that's gonna tell you, I need you over there. You know what I mean? Brunson don't really do that. Brunson will tell you move. That's because he about to go to the paint and go to work. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? OG was looking for, he don't want to go missing. He don't want to be quiet for a quarter and y'all not looking his way. Mitch is going to let you know, like, yo, give me the ball, but he don't get the respect of a Shaq. You know what I mean? So in that case, these players need direction. if Mikel is screaming at the star players pops, or they having a little confrontation, we don't know what exactly for, but that could be it. Like we doing all this hard work. Yeah, got me as a 3 and D, but he over here running the daggone clock out.
Yeah.
Like, where's your responsibility? Somebody's coming to set you a screen, you're not even using it.
Yeah.
You're running away from the screen. So
yeah,
humble yourself and use the daggone screen.
Mikel is definitely
And-
more than 3 and D. Yeah.
And now I don't know if that's what the problem is, but that's what the problem I would have had. You got me on here playing the defense, and you come down court and you shoot up some dumb shot 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like I know you supposedly him, but damn. And if I can't tell you nothing and your pop saying something, I don't want to hear that.
Well, that's exactly what that's really what DiVincenzo was yelling from the sideline when we first played Minnesota. Those really the type of things he was talking about, but it doesn't necessarily mean it in a negative way. But yeah, I think that Jalen Brunson knows based off of things that he say, and you can say one thing and then in the heat of the moment go a whole nother route. He knows what's around him. He's talked about Jordan Clarkson. And I'm sure once training camp starts, he will start to talk about what Brogdon means to this team. And does that mean now that my minutes get cut?
Well,
because to make this thing work, every starter on our team will have to take a hit in minutes.
yeah, his minutes don't got to get cut unless you're playing in the cup game in Vegas.
But we don't need 38,
I'm
40
just saying,
minutes from Brunson anymore.
I'm saying in the cup game in Vegas, and want to leave him in there, cool. You know what I mean? You want him to facilitate the offense, whether who comes in the game, cool. If we in the playoffs and you want to keep him in there to facilitate the game, no breaks, cool. But throughout the whole rest of the season, you got to take a break.
Well, I think,
What happened last year, we don't need everybody. I'll let the 10-man rotation fly. This was looking like it looked like it's about to be a 10-man rotation.
Well, Mike Brown does that. He has a tendency to play 9-10 regular basis. So that's I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, 9 to 10. Cause
I don't think
it's 9 if we don't play Hawk Porty, right?
No,
if we don't play,
it's 11. If we play Hawk Porty, that's almost 11.
That's 10, right?
Because
all right, so the 5 starting 5.
I anticipate Deuce being gone.
I'm talking about let's just say starting 5, and let's just give a next 5.
Okay.
Clarkson, Brogdon, Hart. Let's just throw Mitchell starting. Just put Hart. Yabusele, right? That's 9.
So who we said? Clarkson, Hart. Brogdon, Clarkson,
Yabusele. Either Yabusele,
Hart.
That's 4. That's
4. And so you're either going with
Hawk Porty,
or Shamet.
Shaman don't get the burn if Brogdon is there. Shaman come in probably situational.
All right, because we got to anticipate that Deuce is not going to be there.
That's what I'm saying. Deuce not going to be there. And the way that team looking, if you want Shaman to play, maybe Hart don't be there. If you want Shaman to play.
Yeah, somebody's out. Somebody besides I think
Deuce, it's either Shaman or
well, Shaman they keeping.
I'm talking about putting Shaman in that 10 spot or the big Hawk Porty, depending on what it look like we need that day. If they not getting in foul trouble, Hawk Porty don't come in the game.
I know. So only reason I think Hawk Porty might not get all those minutes because to get the most uses out of Cat, he can go out the game, even if Mitch starts, whichever one. And then you rotating the 3 between Mitch, Yabusele, and Yabo. I mean Cat, Yabusele, and Mitch. You're rotating those 3 up front with an occasional OG at the 4.
Right.
So that's still giving your big men there a lot of amount of minutes. And then if it's foul trouble, then what's the name will get the playing time.
Yeah, I'm only bringing in Hawk Porty, and I'm only saying this in a perfect world is we can't. If Mitch goes down, we need somebody to fill that spot perfectly. I don't want Yabusele to have to fill that spot. I'd rather Hawk Porty go fill that spot, and he know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
He can do everything Mitch probably can do. He's not better than Mitch, but he's young. You know what I mean? He played overseas. He played with professionals before. And I'm seeing that he can do a lot of these things we need him to do. Set a screen, get to the hole. He don't got to kick it out.
Oh no, yeah, Mitch value is on the defensive end first.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
and
the more
rebounding.
Hawkport he get in there, he's gonna get them blocks like he was doing before. But you gotta split to make sure Mitch don't get hurt. You probably gotta take some of them minutes away. Now you don't need if they're not in foul trouble, you probably just moving Cat over or Yabusele. You probably just slide on one of those people
Well,
in and out forward.
I think Cat throughout the season is gonna slide in the course of a game. He's
Mm.
gonna slide back and forth to power forward and center,
Mm.
depending on the matchups in the game. When we're going small and you want to have Cat out there, I think so. That's
But if we're
why
doing good,
his minutes gonna come
I
that
feel
way.
like if we good on the big side, Shamit's probably coming in if he comes in. He's coming in to put up some threes if we really need it.
Mm-hmm.
If we just need size, Hawkport is probably coming in, and that's if. So like I said, it's the 9-man rotation. They lose their minutes. Dadier, we don't see him coming in.
No, I see. No,
I'm not
I see
saying
him traded.
Yeah, I see him traded. I see McBride traded. Now, if McBride not traded, that's
Somebody else is traded.
yeah, somebody else is trading, and
Yeah.
somebody not getting those. Maybe Shamit is back off the team. I see Brogdon staying. I don't see him not.
I see them. I actually see Brogdon and Shamit staying.
Yeah.
I don't see them bringing in. I don't see them guys accepting non-trade, a non-guaranteed, if they don't think they're going to be here, when they could have probably got a guarantee somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though it's a business, you want to be on a team that you know going to win, and I think everybody knows the Knicks is going to win. So we see what the people think later on.
Yeah, so listen, if you're here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we will go live more so than just doing a regular record. You know what I mean? Get to see how quick, easy, and then I know some of y'all watch it right after it airs, so we appreciate y'all for that.
Yeah, we know y'all on your Sunday football.
Yeah, I know. Football over for me. I can't do it no more. Basketball, here we come. I might pick a different team this year.
I ain't doing that.
I can't do it.
All right.
My blood pressure can't do it, yeah. But I'll see y'all later. Anything else? Y'all good?
Peace.
Peace.